Tuesday to everybody. So glad to have you back here stateside, Christine. Even though every time you try to tag me in a tweet, you misspell my name.
I just realized that. I was looking and I'm like, and I have fat thumbs or something because I'm always misspelling.
Go to your history and see how many times you've spelled Vossel of DeFi or whatever you're putting in. It's never tagging me. Some other person, my alt account, it's tagging.
Oh
But
my God. You know what it is? Yeah. How do I fix that? I think when I'm typing it out, it automatically assumes it knows what I'm talking about and then it tags some
you've
weird.
misspelled it so many times it now auto completes to the. You've misspelled it so many times it now auto completes to the misspelling. So even if you
Oh,
do it right, it's like, nah, you must have meant this other one.
oh.
Welcome back, Christine. What day? How many days were you gone? And we'll get all to this in your corner. But how many days were you gone, and when did you get back?
So I was gone for 10 days and
Awesome.
it was a long 10 days, but worth it. And I think travel's just so important. And I had no idea. I've never been to Israel, so it was such a culture shock. Everything it was good to go there, be there for 10 days. People say 7 days is too short to go anywhere, and I believe that. I did miss being home though, so I'm excited to be back on the show and then see
Same.
you, boys, and
Same.
talk to you guys about it.
Same. This will be good. Glad to be back. I did for 2 weeks hold down the fort while you were
Yes.
gone and do some solo shows. Then if you've listened to the show for some time, people know that I've been trying to get a new GPU and then tariffs and things like that. I couldn't get it, but I got it. Finally got my new GPU and then put it in and all hell broke loose. So anyway, we had to skip a week because I couldn't get my computer going, but it's going. I think everything's working fine. Sam and I did the sound check. By the way, it seems so diva-like whenever Sam does the sound check because he does the sound check and then like 2 minutes before, it's like the paparazzi comes in. You come in and you just get ready. You just I don't know. It's just perfect where you just come in after you've been in the green room for so long and you're ready to roll.
Yeah, I was in the makeup room, and
Yes.
I'm glad that he could do the sound check because you've known me for so many years, so I'd be rushing in here and be like, I'm not ready. You start, and then I'll just be back.
No, he does great by doing that. All right, if you are new to here, this is episode 10 of By the Rumor, where we talk about the latest crypto, pop culture trends, market trading, all sorts of things, but we really kind of focus around in trading, whether it be crypto and technology and how maybe pop culture affects those things. On the side right here, I think I'm pointing to the right side. I'm pointing at you, Christine, but you're going to have to point over here to point to that side. Yeah, there you go. No, other way. There you go. You will see the topics that we are about to discuss. We'll discuss them for 3 minutes each. Then, after we discuss each of those topics, Christine's going to tell us for about 10 minutes about her trip, about what her trip was about, where she went, and maybe some experiences or how she felt whenever she was there. That should be fun. After that, we will talk about a little birthdays of who's celebrating a birthday today in entertainment. Then I want to talk about Tesla robots. Are you going to have a robot living with you, Christine? We're going to talk about this,
I
about
am.
whether you get one. I think you will agree with this after I talk about it. So that will be coming up to round out the show. With that, let's get this thing started. Could there possibly be a meme coin rally? Doge and Shiba Inu both surged 25% in a week. As we saw, Christine, when you were gone, it was great for the market when you were out of the country because Bitcoin went from kind of a local low to now getting near that all-time high. And now everybody's getting ready for when's meme coin season going to get going again. Doge and Shiba Inu both outpaced Bitcoin during that time. Let me ask this, Christine. I mean, every time there's some new meme coin type of thing, there's dog with hat, or cat with hat. I've seen that one now. So many different meme coins. Is there always going to be space for meme coins in this space, or eventually does everybody just say like, nope, it's just going to be the top 10, and that's all we'll care about?
I believe that meme coins will die out. Don't
Ooh.
shoot me for saying that. I know a lot of
Oh,
people
you
are
heard it here
like,
first.
that's a big statement, and you guys are gonna block me. But I feel like they're gonna die out as crypto gets regulated, I believe, and then it'll be top 10. And then you guys, right now, Bitcoin's at 104,419. You're welcome, because when I was traveling, I was just telling everybody about it. So I just got it rallying.
You could have sent money home from Israel to California for cents. And used to, before blockchain, you could not do that for that cheap and that quick. So yeah, lots of things that part of the world maybe would be interested in. Not that they haven't heard about it. I don't know. Maybe they haven't. You can tell us about whether they are crypto savvy over in that area here in a bit. But yeah, the meme coins. I disagree with you on some level. Maybe on a lot of levels. I like it when we disagree. I've told you that
Yeah.
offline before. I've told you that. I feel like it's good. I disagree on some level. For one thing, there's always new people coming into this space. This space tends to be young. So there's always some new person that's freshly minted 18-year-old ready to get in these investments. He or she really isn't ready to invest in the traditional stock market, but he or she is ready to invest into crypto. They see that Bitcoin might move up 5 to 10%, but maybe that isn't quite doing it for them. So they look into meme coins because meme coins may move 1,000 or 10,000%, and they basically get into the casino. Now, what do the OGs look at those people as? Exit liquidity, right? That's what they are. But because of that, there will always be memes. And if you look at this latest cycle of memes, it's usually stuff that young people are interested in anyway. Like Chill Guy. I never heard of Chill Guy,
Chill
but I heard,
guy.
yeah, heard Chill Guy was a thing kind of
It
amongst
was.
young people. Yeah, young people community. So
Haktua.
before,
Haktua
is
coin.
that a young thing?
The
The
Haktua
act or
coin.
the person? I don't know. Anyway, uh,
Wait, before this just came up, it says breaking news: crypto's CEO's daughter, toddler horrifically assaulted and kidnap attempt on the Paris street.
okay, we will move on. But what CEO for what?
This
The
is by.
CEO of
I
crypto?
know. That's what it says. The daughter of a cryptocurrency CEO and her 2-year-old child were attacked by a group of knife wielding kidnappers in the center of Paris on Tuesday. And they
Wow.
have a video.
Things are changing with old Paris. I keep on seeing videos of Paris, and it's
Yeah.
not the Paris that I think I know.
It's not the Paris that we've read. Have you been there?
I have not.
Oh.
I have not. I'm not well traveled. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we'll talk about that maybe in your segment. Bitcoin boom. Bitcoin hits 100,000 as Trump prepares to cash in. This is interesting to me. Let me just read this little subheadline. It says Bitcoin hit a new all-time high, or excuse me, that's wrong. It says hit a new all-time high of 100,000. That is
No.
incorrect. But rumor swirl that former President Trump may be preparing to cash in on his crypto investments. Now, I have not heard this, but he owns a ton of the Trump coin, probably a ton of the Melania coin. He probably owns Bitcoin and some different things like that.
Yeah.
When might he cash out? And if he does, that's probably bad for crypto on the whole, right? He wants to be known as the crypto president.
The crypto king.
Right, right. So that's bad if he liquidates, right? If he sells.
So why are people saying, "Oh, he's looking to cash out"? Did he say that, or are we just assuming as a people that, "Oh no, he's probably cashing out soon"?
Well, this is from the conservativeangle.com. I don't know much about the conservativeangle.com, but it says Trump will do everything in his power to reward his crypto donors who have given millions to his campaign and inauguration through cryptocurrency. It says Bitcoin popped on Thursday, blowing past the $100,000 mark for the first time since February. And it says that they forecast that Trump's crypto backers his crypto backers are preparing to cash in. This is written by boomers. That's what this is.
See, I knew it because I haven't heard. I mean, not like I have my ear to the ground that much to know, but I haven't heard anything circulating about him looking to liquidate or cash out or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I read this headline, and then as I read more, I think this headline was written by boomers that think this is what an actual boomer would do. The market has went up, and they're like, oh, now it's time to sell. But
Yep.
I think a lot of us that have been in the space for a while, we never think it's the top, right? We always
Fake
think there's more.
news. Fake
Yeah,
news.
fake news. Move on. I'm sorry. We have now reported on fake news here on By the Rumor. All right. Well, this is not fake news. An Arizona governor vetoes a crypto bill. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs vetoes two crypto bills, deeming them too risky for the state. So, although is California crypto friendly? Don't you guys take crypto for like your DMV or something, right?
Yeah, I would say California's crypto friendly. I
Okay.
did not know the DMV takes crypto, but yeah, I don't. They're more
Oh yeah.
progressive on crypto.
Yeah, yeah. You should do that next time you have to, get your car registered. I believe you can pay in crypto. You should do it just to report back here of what it was like.
You know what? Sam's registration is due, so we might do that.
Look, please. If nothing else, I just want to know what the process is and maybe even what chain it's on. I think that's actually uh, already a knowledge of what chain it's on, but it is you can do that on there.
Probably
But
Ethereum. I'm just kidding.
I don't think it
I'm
is. I
just
think it's
kidding.
something with some cheap gas. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, Arizona is not. Texas tends to be pretty crypto friendly. California, being the tech center that it is, probably crypto friendly. But Arizona, they say that these bills are too risky for the state. So I actually traveled to Arizona for spring training, some baseball spring training a few months ago, and I did not spend any crypto when I was there. No one wanted any. I didn't try to either, but
Oh,
that would have been awesome. I would
yeah.
have tried to get into a game, a spring training game, and just offered crypto to get in. Yeah, so they say it's too risky for this, and it's two different crypto bills in Texas, and I would say nationally on the federal level. Trump's trying, he really does want to be known as the crypto president, I think. I don't think he understands it very well, but I think he has people around him that doesn't understand it. And because of
Right.
that, he's actually passing a lot of things through. Texas passes a lot of things through. We want Bitcoin miner facilities and things like that here in Texas. California seems to be okay. Arizona doesn't. I don't know. What do you know, Christine? Finally, your state is at the leader of something good here, right? Aren't you
I
proud?
I don't think that we're the leader. It's probably Florida that's the leader of crypto, right? Um, and we remain the leader of nothing. So
You're a leader of some things.
homeless,
Homeless encampments. Yeah. Florida
gas
probably has
prices.
the. Yes, y'all are the leader of gas prices. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
how much is gas there right now?
I drive a Tesla,
Oh
so
my
I
gosh.
don't I don't know.
I bet you it's
Uh,
way low. I heard that, because there was an executive order or some kind of order to lower gas prices, and everyone's seeing it except California. What do you know?
I believe we are. Oh, I'm not even going to guess because it's been so long. I'm showing you the life of a EV driver right now because I just don't know. I
You're
don't. I
so
don't.
out of touch. Can't you
I,
Google
I.
something like gas prices near me or something?
Hey Google, what are gas prices right now in Texas?
Oh
She
my
said,
god.
"I'm sorry, I don't
She
understand."
drives a Tesla too.
Yes, gosh. You'd figure she wouldn't, but she does. All right, Robo-Runners. Get this. I'm going to talk about humanoid robots here in a bit. But in an unprecedented event, humanoid robots raced alongside humans in a half marathon in Beijing, China, marking a significant milestone in the field of robots. What do you think of this? Because I'm not that impressed. Whenever I run a half a marathon, it is hard. I have lungs I have to deal with. I need oxygen. It is difficult. Isn't this just, I don't know. To me, it's like a tank that's just moving along. I know it looks like a human because it's a humanoid robot and it actually ran with 2 feet like I do, but I'm not impressed. Are you impressed with this? Is this something I should be impressed by, that a humanoid robot can run a half marathon?
No, because we would expect that, right? Like we would expect that it would outrun us. So I'm not impressed by that. I am impressed by how fast they are trying to mimic like movement of humans and I guess the way it thinks and for it to take over a lot of our tasks. That's what I'm impressed with. But as far as just running a half marathon, no, because I would expect it to.
Are you now worried? You know, because they're always worried. We are always worried about the robots taking over and AI taking over. Are you now worried that you can't run from them because they can run a half marathon now, and I
No,
don't know that you can run a
I
half
have
marathon.
known, I have known and assumed that it could outrun me, so I was never worried about that. Do I think that it'll take over the world? Yes. That's why I always say thank you to AI, even though we've been told not to because it wastes, like, I don't know, it's detrimental to the environment to say please and thank you.
Yes,
But yeah,
yes.
right. I have to because they're gonna remember, and then when they take over the world, they're gonna be like, no, not don't kill that human because she's nice.
Is that your only method of appeasing them? Like, you know, if it's a human and they tried to, you know, pull a knife on you and do whatever, I feel like you would try to talk your way out of it or whatever.
I
How are
would.
you going to do it? How are you going to do it against a humanoid robot? How are you going to be able to uh, make them say, you know what, let's leave this one?
I'd be like, you know what? I'm for your guys' revolution and freedom, and I could be on your side and the human person for you guys to like go ahead and negotiate everything.
And they say, let her live,
Yeah.
let her live.
And
Right.
they're gonna be like, she always said please and thank you.
Yes, yes, and you're right. I do believe it costs OpenAI more than $1 million a day to for all the extra token usage of people saying please and thank you. So I have heard that somewhere. All right,
Yeah.
Solana co-founder envisions a meta blockchain. Solana co-founder Anatoly Yakovenko introduces an
Yakavinko.
innovative blockchain system aimed at reducing costs associated with data availability. I'm not familiar with this guy. I feel like every week when we do stories, we talk about a Solana co-founder, and it's a different co-founder every time. How many co-founders did they have over at Solana, and why are they all breaking off for their own projects?
I think it's such a new um world, and I feel like they get tempted to start. I mean, they gain all this knowledge and notoriety, and then someone probably comes in and is tempting them to start their own new thing, and they do it.
Well, his idea. I'm reading this tweet post that's out there. I will never be able to stop saying tweet. But
I know.
anyway, it says Solana co-founder Toly has proposed the concept of a meta blockchain, which involves posting data across chains, such as Ethereum, Celestia, and Solana, then merging the data into a single ordered sequence using predefined rules. So this is interesting. He's actually getting data from many different blockchains, putting it all together into one as kind of an aggregate of all of them. That that sounds interesting. I'm sure there are some use cases for that because right now, you know this even from an investor in crypto. Sometimes, whenever we were getting into NFTs and we're like, oh, this one's going to be on base or something like that. And you're like, okay, now I've got to bridge my Ethereum to over there, and now I've got to do this and that. And with so many chains, it gets confusing, and I don't know that the public is going to be able to handle that. We do need some sort of aggregation because we do have data now in different chains, and it's just hard to make it all work whenever you've got so many different little systems.
Right.
Agree? Hey, what's your cup say?
I knew you were gonna ask. It says
You can't.
best dad ever.
That's not you. You can't have that.
You
Yeah.
don't know what I identify as.
That's true. I apologize. I have definitely stepped over a line there.
Yeah, how dare you assume?
I
I
cannot wait till your children come through the background and they're like, "Sup, Dad?"
No, they have. They have. I've been drinking out of this cup for a couple years now, and they're like, "Okay, best dad ever." I'm like, "You're right. Thank you."
You're right. I am. I am the best dad ever. Okay, yeah, I saw that and I immediately had to say something. So it's not just your children anymore.
Yeah, I got lost in the sauce right now because I was reading how President Trump. I was watching a video and reading the little caption saying that um, about his entrance before his speech in Saudi Arabia, where the White House announced a $600 billion Saudi investment in the United States. That's insane.
Some big money.
That's some big
Um,
numbers.
all right, I've got this is called Monster Reality. You're gonna like this. You're gonna need to get not lost in the sauce for this
Okay.
story. Okay, this is a good story. There was a babysitter in Kansas, and she found a man hiding under the child's bed
Oh,
after the
hell.
child complained, about a monster in the room. Okay? The man who had previously lived in the home, I don't know if this is a ex-lover from the babysitter, was arrested after a brief pursuit. So listen, parents.
Hell.
Yes, listen, parents. Whenever the kid's saying there's a monster in my room, there may actually be, because this time there was. This one says the unnamed babysitter told authorities she was getting the kids ready for bed when one complained about a monster under the bed. Her efforts to reassure them otherwise didn't quite go as planned. When the victim attempted to show the child that there was nothing under the bed, oh my gosh,
There was something
she
under the
came
bed.
face to face with the male suspect that was hiding under there. An altercation ensued with the babysitter, and the one child was knocked over in the struggle. The suspect is a 27-year-old man who once lived at the residence, but was under protection from abuse order that required him to stay away from the property. Okay, so this was like family member or something that was
Yeah.
under
So
there.
was that? It might be his like nephew or even his kid.
Something. It doesn't quite say that. He was arrested on charges of aggravated kidnapping, aggravated burglary, child endangerment, felony, and obstruction of law enforcement. Can you imagine, Christine? The kid says, there's something under my bed, and you're like, there is not. And you like, look, let me show you. And you go down under the bed, head first,
Oh my god!
and you
then you
meet
just see
eyes.
oh my god!
Oh,
That
my gosh.
babysitter's so traumatized. Like years of therapy for that babysitter.
Yes. Well, in us also, it was probably met eyes with somebody that she knew, which would be even more terrifying.
You
What do you
think
think
so? Maybe. How about if it's like a new babysitter?
Oh, that's true. That's true. This is a babysitter, not the mother.
Right.
Yeah, I'm losing the way here. Yeah, yeah. This is a babysitter. You're right. That babysitter may have not known that person at all. You know what? Kudos to the babysitter. Girl power here, right? Because in my mind, I'm thinking, well, that guy probably just pushed her over and ran out the door, but he didn't. He was apprehended. So she did something. She got some hits in.
I know. Why isn't it clear on what she did? Did she lock him in the room? Like, what happened?
She did whatever you told me that you would do things if you had a knife, a knife altercation. She talked her way out of it, just like you said you would do.
Oh, yeah,
So,
probably.
she knew how to handle it.
Girl power.
All right. Girl power. That's right. All right. Last one on here. Bitcoin leads. Bitcoin showing strength amid U.S. inflation data. Now, this morning, did you see CPI this morning?
No, I did not.
Inflation data is lower than expected. Okay.
Wow.
Things are looking up, in the old United States of America. And look at our little ticker down here at the bottom. I see Tesla's up by 4%. SPY is up by 0.83%. NVIDIA is up by 5%. Market's green.
Yeah, rallying.
Inflation. Yeah. A nice little rally here. But Bitcoin has actually showed some pretty good momentum against gold and stocks. And it says it remains undeniable as U.S. inflation data exceeds predictions. So I think there was a time when everybody thought, oh, well, if inflation is looking bad, if it's looking bad, then people were going to put their money into crypto because crypto is de-inflationary and it will continue to go up. And that really isn't what would happen. That never was really the case. But now we're seeing inflation data look good. And I would not say Bitcoin tanked at all. Matter of fact, it's up 1.5% today. What is it at? 104,000 right now.
104,000, yeah. And it was dipping a little bit a couple days ago, and everyone's like, "What's happening to Bitcoin? It's it's catching a knife. Like I can't believe it. What's happening?" But I'm like, people are probably just taking profits. But it's amazing. I don't care if it's at 90,000, 100,000, 80,000. It's amazing.
You've got to think like Michael Saylor, right, of strategy. That dude is always buying millions or billions of Bitcoin. And let me just say, I'm concerned about a bubble with him, with strategy. And this is the bubble I'm worried about. Whenever he's buying Bitcoin, he's getting IOUs basically from Coinbase. Okay.
Oh wow.
He is not like if I were to, because you know how strategy owns billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. I would challenge you, go find that on chain. See if you can find his billions of dollars in a wallet on chain, and you won't be able to.
Right.
Because
Okay.
now he is promised that, and he does own it. Like he's given up cash assets for this to get it, but they do not have it. And something about that makes my anus clench a little bit. You didn't know you were going to know the status of my clenching, but now
Wait, so if he wanted to redeem his IOUs, can they? That's
he
crazy.
I mean, supposedly he could if he's just like, nope, I want to own it. I don't want to do this anymore. But would that be a bubble for Coinbase? Like, could Coinbase handle that? Do they have the Bitcoin to
Yeah,
handle
I
that?
don't know about
You
that.
see what I'm saying? This seems precarious. This seems
Maybe
like a
there's
bad
some
idea.
terms, voice. Maybe there's terms like, hey, if you ever want to redeem, it wouldn't be where we can redeem one lump sum, but we will. Like we promise to do so, but it's like a agreed term.
Yeah, but that's what goes wrong with crypto. It's like FTX and things like that. SBF is like, I promise, it's good. The stable coin will never drop, or Luna or whatever. Everybody in crypto, we've got this blockchain technology where we can verify what anything does financially, and instead we want to do handshake agreements. And anyway, I'm just concerned.
He
That's
owns
all I'm saying.
Coinbase at this point.
Well, it does seem like that. It does seem like that. All right. With that, Christine's been gone for some time. She's back. We're ready to hear how her trip was. Let's do a little Christine's Corner.
Christine's Corner, where the buzz is hot. Crypto trends or the latest pop plot. From gadgets that glow to stars in the sky. If it's on her mind, you know it's gonna fly.
Look at both of us bobbing our heads whenever the video comes back. We're
I
just kind of
miss that song because I
such a
haven't
good
heard it
song.
for 3
3
weeks
weeks.
now.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Such a good little jam. All right, Christine's visit to the Middle East. So 2 years ago, Christine, we were doing a book club, and you told me, "Hey, voice, won't be able to be at the book club next week because I'm going to Israel." Okay. And I'm going to let you take over the story from that point and how you got to go here this last couple of weeks to the same place.
Yeah. So 2 years ago, I did tell Voice of DeFi during our book club, like, hey, I'm going to be leaving to Israel to go on a mission and help people that have been affected in terrorist attacks that live over there. And then, so we're going to tattoo over their scars and la di da. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. Well, right before we were supposed to leave, I believe it was like a week, right, boys?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was all over the news on all over X, or I don't know if it was Twitter at the time. And then it said, hey, like there was an attack there during this festival, a bunch of people died, and now war is going to happen. And I remember telling the president of the organization, of the nonprofit, like, hey, I'm just seeing this and I know we're leaving next week. Is this affecting our trip at all? And he's like, oh, like the news kind of blows things up and kind of gaslights everyone. I don't think it's anything. We'll see. The next day, totally, it was all over the world that this was a huge war that was about to happen. And yeah, our trip got halted and then
Yeah.
therefore we did not go. Fast forward, we just came back from Israel, so 2 years later we did go. It was an amazing trip. I had no idea, and I'm geographically slow. So someone during the trip was like, "Yeah, we're Israel's the only place in the Middle East," and I was like, "We're in the Middle East."
Oh, no. I thought we were in
Oh my
Western
gosh.
East.
And they were like, yes, this is the Middle East. We got to visit Jerusalem for 2 days. There's a place called the Holy Sepulchre, I believe that's how you say it. I'm not sure, but that was amazing. And that's supposedly like where Jesus's tomb is and where they found the cross. And they had this slab where they washed Jesus's body, and it's there like for everyone to kind of touch, and people hover over it and put like their personal belongings on there. People are crying over it. And then the thing that they don't tell you, I guess, on the news or anything about that place in Jerusalem is like 4 or 5 of the biggest religions all over the world, they share that place under one roof and they coexist there and they all get along, which is, it was really cool to see because you always hear about religions kind of just being it divides them and they don't get along and they don't like each other. But it was cool to see such different religions under one roof and getting
And these are
along.
like big different. These aren't just like different versions of Christianity. These are very different religions, correct?
Right.
Or
It was
okay.
like Catholic, Roman Catholic, Ethiopian, something Jewish. No, Jewish Orthodox was not there. And I don't know. I don't know all the ones that were, but it was all different. And then we saw the Wailing Wall or the Western Wall and got
Yeah.
to see that. That was amazing. We also visited the oldest tattoo shop ever over there. Like it's been around since 1600 or something. And I got a tattoo.
Just that. Okay. There's a Sam showed me the same thing on our mic check.
Yeah.
Same one right there. So those. Tell about the stones, because I know. Okay, so when you give a tattoo, you give that little purple stencil, right, where you can kind of tell where the ink's going to go,
Right.
right? Talk about how they do it there at the oldest tattoo shop.
Yeah, so they had these stones and it was carved in. These designs were carved in, and we're looking at them through this little shelf. And they said that they've had those. And this tattoo shop has been passed down through the family all the generations since 1600. And they still have these stones that they use to like stamp on your skin and then they
Same
tattoo
stones,
over.
right?
Yeah,
Same
same
stones that were
stones.
used.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's crazy. That's
So
crazy.
we got that. I think that was a great experience, especially us being tattoo artists. That was cool
Yeah.
to experience. And then Jerusalem is like considered the old city. So it's just whether you are religious or not, it's cool to see and be in the place that has so much history in a lot of textbook, Bible, like everything. It was amazing. So we were there for 2 days. Then we went to Tel Aviv. No, no, no. Then we went to the Dead Sea and we were floating there because the density of the
Because
salt.
the
And
salt,
I
right?
guess it's the lowest place on the earth too. It's
Oh, interesting.
1800 feet below sea level.
Wow.
So that was amazing. And then got some skincare stuff there, obviously. And then what else? Oh yeah, and then Tel Aviv, which reminds me a lot of LA. It's very
Tel
westernized.
Aviv reminds you a lot
Yeah.
of LA. I am blown away by that.
Right? And then it's very mixed, mixed cultures there. It's like a melting pot. And everyone was dressed like how they dress in LA, which was a culture shock to me because all I brought was long sleeves and pants because I didn't know. I had no
Yeah, yeah.
idea. I thought it was going to be very strict. You can't show, like, I don't know what I
Well, it's
had
like
in
I've
my mind.
seen all that crypto stuff in Dubai recently, and
Right.
I've seen like blonde broker and Ashley and all that, and they're wearing like full headscarves and things like that. So I would have thought the same thing, but you're telling me it wasn't really like that at all, is what you're saying.
No, not at all. Even in Jerusalem, I guess it's pretty strict there. They were saying like, "Oh, make sure you're kind of covered in the old city," but it's because of the, you know, that's where Jesus was. It,
It's
he
like
lived his
respect.
life. Yeah, it's like a respect to all the religions, which is nice. And it wasn't where you have to be super covered. It was just like, hey, wear short sleeves or long sleeve, but don't wear a tube top or a tank top and
Don't have
short
like
shorts.
deep cleavage in your Daisy
Yeah,
Dukes or anything.
exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Okay,
But
I
Tel
got you.
Aviv is beautiful. It does remind me a lot of LA as far as like cafes and clubs, the way people dressed, beach city, which I hadn't. I don't know why. I just thought I'm like, oh, they have a beach here. Weird. But yeah, it was
You
beautiful.
thought they're not allowed to have a beach there in the Middle East because I think I know where you're coming from because you think like, oh, in that area there it's obviously surrounded with religion in that area, and you
Right.
just think maybe you shouldn't do some of the things that maybe you do
Right.
here in the States.
Yeah, it's very. They have a lot of, from what I experienced and saw, I was like, oh, they have a lot of freedoms here, which I didn't know of just because of what we see in our media and news. There's a lot of different religions there, a lot of different people, like a melting pot, like I said. And we did not go there with any like politics concerned in my mind, but I know a lot of people that I do know or that follow me were kind of upset that we went over to Israel, which
Hmm.
I can understand because of how what a hot topic it is
Yeah.
with the war with Palestine and Israel. But it was a good experience, and I think wherever you stand, it's good to just go there ourselves and kind of see where Yeah.
That's interesting. So let's talk about the tattoos real quick that you gave. So it was like scars or something that maybe they had endured from some of the terrorist attacks, and that's what you were covering up was scars. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, so a lot of us covered up scars that they've had due to terrorist attacks that they've been part of. This was, a lot of that. And then if you lost someone in a terrorist attack, like your husband or family member, they were getting something that represented them. So
That's awesome.
nice.
That's awesome. How many tattoos did you do in a? Because you were there for how many days were you tattooing, and then how many did you do a day?
So 2 days of tattooing back to back, and then I had one really big one that took all day, the first day, and then the second day I did two or three, I believe.
Okay. Okay. So some of
Medium
these
to
were pretty
small.
intricate. These weren't just stick figures.
Right, and then
Okay.
I was on the news.
I saw that. I saw that. You should. I don't have it pulled up right now, but I'd put it up in our chat, by the way. Speaking of our chat, see, Bill Meyer says, beautiful country. And Lake of Wales says, wow, Christine, you are my hero, which
Oh,
it's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. It's
you're
really
my
nice.
hero, Lake.
Yeah. So really cool that you went out there and did that. Is this a trip that you are going to repeat someday, or is this going to be a one off?
So I was even saying with Sam, like, I'd love to come back, like, on our own and kind of just
Sightsee.
explore on our own. I would
Yeah.
probably get more hate on doing that on my own versus going on a mission. But I think just travel in general, you guys, I think it's good to explore the world on our own. But yeah, I would go again. And I was very scared going over there because I didn't know what to expect. I was like, they're in the middle of a war. Like, what's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
happen? The thing that was kind of scary is that everywhere it showed you, hey, when these sirens go off, you everybody needs to run to the shelter. And I'm like, where the freak is the shelter? But everywhere there is a shelter, I guess, and I would just follow these people. But yeah, I don't know. I think
Did you ever
other
have a
than that,
moment? Did you ever have a moment where you thought, oh no, something's about to go down, or not really?
yes. So when we were at the hotel in Tel Aviv, um the sirens went off and Sam's like, "Here it
Oh,
goes. The sirens are on." And I was like, "I don't think those are the ones. Can you call the front desk?" And of course it was super busy, so I think he ran down there and they were like, "Oh no, that's just the fire alarm."
somebody didn't lock their car, right? Something like
Yeah,
that.
and of
Okay.
course it was like an American that set the fire alarm off that we were with, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I had my shower on too hot," and he just had it going, and it, I guess, affected
It just affected it.
the.
Well, that is interesting. I hated it that you weren't here to do the show, but at the same time, I'm so glad you were able to get that experience. I really do think it'll be something that'll probably stick with you for a long time. And as you read about, things in Christianity or things like that, it probably is going to have like more weight to you now because you can like just envision the area and things like that. It gives you more perspective, and that's why I think probably travel like that's probably really important, right?
Yeah, I think you should go, boys. I think
I,
we
I would
should
love
take a
it.
field trip. By the rumor field trip.
The rumor. I am in. Tell me when. And yeah, I would love to do that. I've got some friends that have done it, and yeah, really cool. I've got some friends that have been to that tattoo shop, the oldest tattoo shop in the
Oh,
world.
did
There,
they get a
and
tattoo?
they did. They did. One of the
That's
ones that they got was
awesome.
I don't know if you remember the Stones, but there's one that it's like it's somebody. It's like a knight on a horse or a
Oh
dragon
yeah,
or
I
something.
saw that
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a really popular. I mean, as for a tattoo shop that's been there for so long, I know that they've got probably only so many stones that they've passed down from generation to generation. And yeah, that was one of the ones that people really like to have out there. I mean, it's something you could do in LA, that same thing, but there's something special about getting that done there at that particular tattoo place,
Oh,
right?
and with that Jerusalem cross that I got there, someone that I showed was one of my clients was like, "Oh, what is that?" And I was like, "Oh, well, it's a cross, and then the four mini crosses represent whatever." And I was like, "And I got the cross in Jerusalem. It's Jerusalem cross." And he's like, "Oh, I thought it was a racist sign or logo."
Oh, somebody probably thinks that it is. Seriously, be ready for
No,
that.
yeah, I'm
Uh,
sure you know the story, but yeah.
I'll tell you what it reminds me of, and now I want to go back and see the movie. But Indiana Jones.
Uh-huh.
They dug up. They're looking for the Holy Grail. They're looking for Jesus, right? And they find the shield of this knight they were looking for. And when they found it, they found the shield. And I swear to you, the etching on that shield looks like what your tattoo looks like right now. I
Oh,
think.
probably.
I'm going to look back, and it would make sense, right? Because that's like the story, right?
Yeah,
It's in that area.
probably.
So I'm gonna look back and see if I can find like a screenshot of that. All right, excellent Christine's Corner today. Some insight that normally we don't have. A little on location by the rumor. With that, I'm gonna really change gears here. Let's talk
Ooh,
a
let me
little
put my
birthdays.
Birthday hat on.
Okay, get your birthday hat on. There we go. All right, let me find my birthdays. All right, I'll tell you, we're going to do this a little different. Oh, I like the little sprout. We're going to do this a little different today. I'm going to tell you what they are known for, and you're going to tell me who they are, okay?
Oh.
This person is 57, born in 1968, a retired professional skateboarder, wildly considered one of the most successful and influential pioneers of modern vertical skateboarding. He is known for completing his first documented 900, a trick involving 2.5 spins in midair, and my own little addition to this, he's known for a skateboarding video game.
Tony Hawk.
There we go, yes. I think Sam may have just never came home if you would have got that wrong.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's 57, huh? I guess that makes
57.
sense. Wow.
57. Gosh. All right. The next one is an American actor, director, and writer. He's a member of the acting Brat Pack of the 80s, starring in The Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire, and in the 1983 hit movie The Outsiders. He later became known as the Repo Man. Here's a big one: The Mighty Ducks and its sequels. Yep. You know who?
Yeah.
And then Young Guns and its sequel. Who are we talking about?
Emilio Estevez.
That is correct. Emilio Estevez is 63.
Wow.
Why are
You
these
know
people getting
what?
so old? What's going on?
In our heads, they are forever young, like in the roles they play.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. All right, this one is a little tougher, I think. American actor, producer, director, and conservative political activist. You don't find many of those in Hollywood. Starred in many films, including The Usual Suspects, Biodome, and The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. What a dumb title. He is the youngest of the brothers that come from his family, of his last name, so I don't want to say it. Who is that?
Haley Baldwin's dad.
Oh my gosh. Stephen Baldwin. Is that really? I guess it has to be, right?
Yeah.
Haley Baldwin's dad. Yes, very, very good. He's 59 today. Happy birthday. I don't know this person, so I'm just going to say who they are. Catherine Tate. You ever heard of Catherine Tate, English comedian, actress, and writer?
Is that like Andrew Tate's
I don't think
sister?
so. I don't think so. She is 57, so quite a bit different than Andrew Tate. How about this one? American actor, won an Academy Award for Best Actor for his role as Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody, also known as Elliot Anderson or Alderson in the series Mr. Robot. You know who this is?
No.
Rami Malek. He's Freddie Mercury as Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes, I freaking love that movie.
Great one. Now, this one's a big one to me, okay? It says he's an American actor and comedian best known for his role as Jim Levinstein in the American Pie comedy series. Also starred in Orange is the New Black and Boys and Girls. He is age 47. Do you know who he is?
Jason Biggs.
Yes. I like Jason Biggs.
Yeah.
And mainly because of American Pie. I love
He's
American Pie.
also young forever.
Yes, he is forever young, but he's not. Lake of Whales just said, "I feel old now," and yeah, I do feel old now as I read some of these.
Same.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. It's time for some voice lessons. Let's do this thing.
Voice lessons, you'll hear it loud and clear. Tech and crypto wisdom, the truth is here. Big thoughts, bold moves, cutting through the haze. When the voice speaks up, you'll be amazed. So listen up.
I'm actually getting text messages from people telling me, "Tony Hawk, it's Tony Hawk." So yes, it is. People do care about whose birthday it is. Happy birthday, Tony Hawk! By the
Happy
way.
birthday, Tony.
All right. So today's voice lessons, we've got to talk about humanoid robots. Okay. At first, here's what I ask of you, the listener, the viewer, to keep an open mind on humanoid robots. Christine, obviously, you are ready to dive in on humanoid robots, and you're ready. But if you say no, I never would. Just listen to a few things I have to say and see if I can tell you maybe some of the benefits. Okay.
Okay.
Picture a robot folding your laundry. Okay. Already that may be enough for you.
I love it.
Yes. Doing your dishes for you.
I love
okay?
it.
So, or working in factories, Tesla's Optimus robot is making it real. Launched in 2021, Optimus, which is the name of the Tesla robot, handles repetitive or dangerous tasks, potentially outpacing Tesla's car business. So as we look at this little ticker down here at the bottom that says 5.58%, Tesla is up. Right now, people are investing in Tesla because of their car business. Don't have to worry about tariffs with Tesla because it's all made in America. But that actually may be the smaller portion of their business eventually as this Tesla robot comes out. Humanoid robots could reach could be a $5 trillion business by 2050 with 1 billion units globally, okay? They want to sell this Optimus robot to eventually get around to $20,000, $20,000 to $30,000 they would like to get it to, okay? Just from the dishwashing and laundry, I've got to think there's some kind of value there. I mean, it puts it up for you, it folds, it does all that. Seems very, seems like something that a lot of people would want to have. Okay. Tesla targets thousands of Optimus units in 2025 and 1 million by 2030. So they are about to start pumping these things out. Be ready for these Tesla robots. They can walk uneven terrain. They can sort blocks. They can dance. They can bartend. Okay.
Bartend.
And this was all, they can bartend, and they've all showed this, some of this, even though some of those tasks were teleoperated, meaning they actually had a bartender doing it remotely and the robot would do whatever the bartender was doing. It uses Tesla's self-driving AI for vision and navigation. And then there is competition. China has a Unitree G1 and Dex H13 Gen 2, which will be competing with these. Mark this time. Remember this voice lesson segment. Do you remember whenever you first saw the Apple iPhone or when you first got on the internet and you didn't realize how much it was going to change your life in the future?
Yep.
Remember this. I truly think that in the future, people will have these robots around the home and they will be helping people do tasks. Now, Elon seems to think that this will free the human species to be able to do more creative tasks. I've got a lot of questions of how they're paying for things whenever they're being freed with so much time. But nonetheless, that is what Elon says. Who stands to make $20,000 to $30,000 for every time one of these things is sold, okay? Let me ask you this. I was about to say, would you buy an Optimus for $20,000?
Yes.
Yes. Would you, where's the limit for you? Okay. Because eventually you have to like budget constraints and you're like, I can't afford that anymore. I'm not asking for your own personal budget, but where is it not worth it anymore?
I feel I was shocked when I heard the price points of 20 to 30,000, and he said that he was doing that because he wanted it to be affordable to every household, and which he's correct, because if you finance that, right, which people would, a lot of people would, it'd be like $200-300 a month or something. So he's looking at that to be a household thing for everyone. My price point that I'd be like, I don't know, is 100,000, because I thought that that's what it would be when it first came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. That's what I would think it would be. And let me tell you, the reason is we have our cars, right? Cars can cost $100,000 and we use those every day. Well, for the most part, we use our cars every day. And this Tesla Optimus robot, we could potentially use it every day, right? To do just around the house type of tasks. Now, let me get into some security concerns with this. Imagine that it's walking around your house and it's got its little camera eyes on. It's looking and it's like got its little camera eyes on it. And aren't you worried about security things where now somebody's hacked into your Tesla Optimus robot and it sees your little camera eyes around your house? Isn't there some kind of privacy concerns here? Don't you aren't you worried at all that something bad could happen from a security standpoint with these guys walking around your house?
Yes. But like as far as eyes are concerned, I feel like we have given up that freedom. And I'm not
Yeah.
where I'm like, "Oh, who cares? We already gave it up." I just think as far as tech goes, like having a robot around, I've been wanting one since the Jetsons were like a thing. But um as far as having eyes around, like are they, a lot of our gadgets have cameras on them, your TV, your
Yeah.
place like PlayStation, your phones, like everything, Alexa, your Siri, everything is already listening or watching. Yes, it's kind of different to have a humanoid robot walking around. It kind of can be controlled in that way of it's more
Yeah.
human like, and then now it could walk over and this and that. But I think it's inevitable whether you like it or not. And I do have talked to people about it, like, would you get one? And most people say no. And I was like, for now, until you feel like everyone else has one, and then most people end up folding, just like I'm I have a lot of people that said they wouldn't want any smartphones, a long time ago, and they now have
Now they
one.
can't live with, now
Yeah.
their face is buried in it. I
Yeah.
think your counterpoint to the camera issue around is the right counterpoint because right, like that's that ship has sailed, right? They're literally, I'm willing to bet that they're right now in your house. There may be a camera in almost every room. A phone sitting on the desk, just something.
Laptop. Yeah.
Something.
Everything. To the point where we don't even know sometimes. Like we're probably
Correct.
like, "Oh, okay, I covered every camera there is on every gadget." No,
Right.
you're missing one or something's still listening. And I think it's just inevitable. As far as like the pros to it, just what Elon said with making it more efficient as far as like life goes for us and getting rid of the mundane kind of tasks so you could spend more time with your family. That's like one of his points that he
Yeah.
made. Um, yeah,
I,
I
I
don't know.
think I think that sounds great with the security. Let me come up with the next thing. You and I talked about when the robots come over and how you're going to try, whenever they take over, and you're going to try to talk your way out of it. Um, you may not be the Star Wars fan that I am, but in Star Wars, in Episode 3, okay, nerds unite here. Back me up here. There's a scene where something's called Order 66 happens, and all the clone troopers that have been defending the Jedi the whole time and helping them out, doing little mundane tasks. Emperor Palpatine gives out this order: execute Order 66, and all the clone troopers then turn and just start waxing the Jedi. Okay, they just start shooting every Jedi in sight and killing all of them. Are we not concerned that we're going to let the enemy into our house and someday somebody's going to say execute Order 66 and then we're all dead? Are you worried about this?
Yes. But I am going to hope that a lot of these huge tech companies like Tesla makes it so very difficult for it to be hacked. Like how Apple has that whole thing right now that they'd pay someone $1 million if you could hack into the Apple system. So
Yeah.
they're doing, I could imagine that these companies like Tesla, before they create these humanoid robots, that they're gonna do some bulletproof system, which it's never 100%, but it could
Right.
be very difficult to get into. Do I have a concern that someone from the inside could do something like that? Or how about if someone that hated you or is obsessed with
Yeah.
you works for Tesla and they're in that department? Can they personally watch you or, you know?
And this could happen. And I'll say something personal to you. Do you remember when you used to get your Twitter account hacked every like 6 months? And when we would ask around, you were told they think it might be somebody from the inside that has admin access, right? And do I remember that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone told me, because, whoever I personally knew at the time would get my account back. And he's like, hey, man, like, I can't keep contacting this person that I know on the inside. But it's to the point where someone might not like you and they're compromising your account, that's what we're talking about, right? Like, that very well can be the case. And hopefully they have high security standards for their employees as well, because humans are going to human. And if they hate you and they
Human's
have
gonna human.
access, they're going to hate on you.
Okay, so last question with this. Right now, the humanoid, the Optimus Tesla robot, looks like a robot, right? It's got like metal arms. It's shaped like a human, but it's definitely metal. But I'm sure you've seen robots that are used for other things, and they look like real. They look like real. Well, they look like real women. Okay, and do you want your humanoid robot to look like a real person, or do you want them to keep on looking? And it doesn't even have to be a woman. It could be. Do you
Like
want
Jude
them?
Law,
Yes. Okay. So
right?
now,
Yeah.
okay, you're like, no, I need it to be look like a hot man. No. Do you want them to look? Do you want them to have skin and look like an actual human, or do you want them to stay looking like a robot? Does that
You
make you
know,
feel? What makes you feel better?
that's a good question because I honestly don't know. I feel like I'd almost be uncomfortable if they look too much like a human, which the
Yes.
goal is to be that. I think a lot of these tech companies in Japan have almost it's seemingly perfected. And I think that's kind of scary. I think maybe like somewhere in between.
Okay. How do you get in between? Are you wanting like a robot head and a a,
No, like
a
okay, so not necessarily very human like a 8 out of 10. Like there's like something about them, like a freaking seam on their neck or something that you could tell.
I want you to well, forget it. Yeah. I want you to tell me what body parts you want. You want real and what body parts you want
Oh my gosh. Maybe just the head.
just the head. Okay. Okay. So it looks like Jude Law. Okay. Looks like, your favorite person. Okay. Your AI generated favorite person. Neck up, but neck down, it's like Gears and C3PO. That's a
Right.
Star Wars reference.
What's that movie with Jude Law and he's a robot? Do you remember? Was it called AI? No.
There is a movie called AI. There's also a movie called I, Robot. Is he an I, Robot?
No, it wasn't.
That's Will Smith.
iRobot. Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
it
that's
was
Will Smith.
AI.
I don't know. AI. I don't think I ever saw AI. Maybe I should revisit that. Maybe we need to have Golden Hour Movie Club, which we
yeah.
always have talked about, but never have done it.
I know. Now
with
it's
that.
By the Rumor Movie Club.
Yeah, now it's By the Rumor Movie Club. That's right. That's right. All right. So here's the thing. Let me just say with my own personal thought, I am interested in a Tesla humanoid robot for $20,000. I think if it could do a lot of the things of just picking up the house, doing laundry, doing dishes, I don't know, taking the dog for a walk, right? Just like, hey, go around the block for a few times with the dog.
Heck yeah.
All of those things, to me, worth 20,000. Worth 20,000, and maybe even could save money. I could probably think of some things that would cost money that could be saved with that. I'm interested. Am I worried about all the things that I said? Yes, I'm worried about all the things that I said. I'm worried about security. I'm worried about them taking over and holding me hostage. I'm worried about all of that, but I am interested in a Tesla robot. Lake of Whale said, are we buying as much Tesla stock as possible now?
Yes. Yes. I
okay.
think that I was, good late because I already forgot with my ADD, but I was going to say leaps on Tesla, right? Let's go out like 2 years out and try
Well,
to
it's
hold
at
on.
$334 right now.
What's
I
a
wish
leap?
you would have. What's a leap? Did
No,
somebody
like
say that?
what's the price of the leap?
Oh, no, I don't have Webull pulled up right now to see what a price of a leap is, but here, maybe I won't even. I'll let you pull it up if you want to. If
I'll
you
pull
want
it
to
up.
see it. Okay, you pull it up. I'll
But at
explain what a leap is.
300. Oh yes, please. But $300 a month, you guys, really? If it was $20,000, and then you financed it for 5 years, $300 a month, you better have freaking a Jetsons robot.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. So what Christine's looking into is options. Now, options are basically the right to buy 100 shares of a stock for the given price that you're saying, okay? And she can buy it at many different prices, but a leap is a full year ahead, 365 days. So
Or
saying
two.
like or two, yes, at least a year, right? And so a leap, you're saying that, hey, on May the 13th, 2026, I expect Tesla to rise in value from now. And you look at more macro things rather than just the small little minute things that are moving the market. So you're looking at, Tesla's looking at having robots out, and you can sell these leaps before those 1 or 2 years happen, right? So if you wanted, you could buy a 2-year leap from now saying Tesla's going to have all these, humanoid robots out by then, and that's going to make their stock price go up, and you can then sell for profit out of that. So Christine, how much will a leap cost us for Tesla? It's probably quite a bit, actually.
Yeah. The cheapest, the most affordable that I see goes out to 2027, and it would cost us December 2027, and it would cost for one $927.
Okay, that's actually not as much as I might think.
Yeah, that's the most affordable.
Yeah, as I continue talking about leaps, let me go ahead and say one other thing. Now, notice she said $900 something, and notice one share of Tesla right now is $334. So you really get to leverage, this time that you're waiting for it to go up.
Oh yeah,
and like it's the value of 100 shares of Tesla, or it's the value of the right to buy 100 shares of Tesla.
There's
so yes,
4,000. There's interest of 4,000 in there already, and there's people that already have this contract, and that is the strike price is $530.
Is $530, and it's $330 now. So yeah, you're betting that at least it's going to go up to $530 in, was that a year or 2 years?
2.
2. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's
okay.
I feel like that's reasonable. This guy is insane. He's
I'll tell you where I'll tell you my biggest hesitation is if you think Tesla is over or underpriced right now as we speak. Because some people will think, I can think of one particular influencer that says that it's overpriced right now. And so it depends whether you think Tesla is overpriced right now. If it is overpriced right now, then yeah, you could. It's a very notable person. I know you would know who it is.
Name him.
I'm not going to do it. I'll name. Offline.
You're dumb. I'm just kidding. Whoever you are, you're dumb.
You'll know the name immediately. They seem to think that it's overpriced and that it should be in the hundreds. It's in 330 right now, that it should be in the hundreds. But I don't necessarily feel like that.
Might be a bias. Doesn't like him or something.
Well, you know how it gets with something that Elon is affiliated with. People get real biased over things.
Right. Love him or hate him, he's going places.
I really think he might be able to be a successful person in this world. Yeah. So, all right. So that is my discussion over humanoid robots. Christine and I are down for one each. Wouldn't that be crazy if we're doing By the Rumor and just behind you, I'm like, what was that? Who just walked by? And you're like, oh, that was just Jenkins. He's doing the laundry.
Jenkins. Yeah. I would have, once we get our robots, I said once we get it because we're going to. I'll just have him or her sit next to me.
Ooh, it's like a Victoria.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Victoria that we used to have, except now they could actually do the show with us.
We'll do like a robot corner.
Robot corner.
Yeah, and then they could discuss their whatever they want to talk about.
It'd definitely be like a techno song that I would get them to do.
Oh, totally.
All right. Very, very good. Christine, we have now done double-digit shows. We have now done 10 of these By the Rumor shows. Yes, that's right. It keeps on going. Thank you to everybody that commented in the chat. I see Lake of Wales. I see Alexander. I see Bill Meyer. Appreciate all of you commenting in the chat. We will be back next Tuesday, where we'll have Christine will give another little thought on something. Won't be her trip to Israel, but it will be something. I'll have my own little segment that I do. I feel like I've got all kinds of things that I want to talk about, so I'm really excited for that. And of course, there will be another week of big news stories, which we will break down. So with that, I'm going to play this amazing outro. The best dad ever will finish up their cup of coffee, and we will see y'all next week. Peace.
Chasing the thrill of the digital hive. Toxic tech in a renegade code. This is the path where the bold explode. Behind the charts, the story unfolds. Fortunes are built in the data it holds. From crypto skies to entertainment streams, pushing the edge, chasing dreams unseen. Behind the roar, the story unfolds. Fortunes are built in the daily halls. From crypto skies to entertainment streams, pushing the edge, chasing dreams unseen. By the rumor when the silence screams, in a world of risks and electric dreams. Become the future, take the ride. Shark minds up on the darker side. Shark minds up on the darker side. Sharks don't lie, but the faces do. Watch the market sway like it's testing you. The gossip's currency is hard to ignore. Behind locked doors lies so much more.